The United States and Iran are moving closer to a breakthrough, with officials indicating that both sides are negotiating a one-page memorandum aimed at ending the ongoing West Asia conflict and opening the door for broader nuclear talks. Well, that is the big breaking news that we're getting you at this point in time, as Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has confirmed the update, stating that there may be a permanent end to the war. And sources also confirm that the proposed framework includes a temporary halt to Iran's nuclear enrichment program, alongside a phased rollback of US sanctions and the release of billions in frozen Iranian assets. The draft memorandum is expected to declare an end to active hostilities and initiate a 30-day window for detailed negotiations, during which key issues such as nuclear limits, maritime security and sanction relief will be addressed. Restrictions in the Strait of Hormuz are also set to ease gradually, potentially restoring critical global shipping routes. However, the path to a final agreement remains uncertain. Divisions within Iran's leadership and skepticism among the US officials continue to cast doubt over deal's durability. Negotiators are still debating the duration of the proposed nuclear moratorium, with the timelines ranging from over a decade to nearly 2 decades. The framework also includes stricter international inspections and commitments aimed at preventing any move towards weaponization. And if talks collapse, provisions allow for a swift return to military measures. While optimism is building, this agreement remains a fragile step, one that could either end a dangerous standoff or prolong a tense and uncertain ceasefire. My colleague Sneha Koshi is joining me right now to get us more details. Sneha Koshi, what do we make of these ongoing negotiations from both sides? Of course, there was earlier a statement that the Operation Epic Fury seems to have ended as far as this most lethal phase is concerned. So do we then feel that the worst is over?
Samia, at this point, I think the focus will be towards demilitarizing Hormuz. That's going to be the primary focus for the United States as well as Iran, even as the world will really be looking at this, because the fact is that at least 20% of the world's crude oil supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz. The militarization of Hormuz, whether it be from the side of the United States, whether it be from the side of Iran, is posing a huge international trade threat. And that's not just about trade threat. We also have Indians in recent past who have been attacked, who have been injured in those attacks as well. So demilitarization of Hormuz is going to be the priority. And the 14-point memo which US and Iran are working on also includes several other aspects, which also includes nuclear enrichment program of Iran. That's going to be a major bone of contention. This was one of the reasons why even the earlier ceasefire talks, the peace talks, the round one did not work out, fell apart. So that still remains a bone of contention. We'll have to see whether Iran and US do manage to strike a deal on that. For now, this seems to be the closest, according to sources in Washington. This seems to be the closest that US and Iran have seemed to come together with respect to possibly ending the war. We'll have to see how much of that really works out, but a 14-point draft being worked on very closely between the United States and Iran.
Looks like a step in the right direction, Sneha, but as far as Donald Trump is concerned, we know that we can't really take him on face value. But as far as Iran is concerned, are they willing to ease the tension at the Strait of Hormuz? Because that becomes a contentious issue.
Samia, I think it really comes down to what US and Iran really finally decide upon, because while US will want the demilitarization of Hormuz, US will want trade to flow through the Strait of Hormuz, what Iran will really want at this point is that they are allowed their nuclear enrichment program. So these are the two big aspects that US and Iran have always had a bone of contention in. Iran making it very clear earlier as well, it will not be a one-sided deal. That they have the right to to nuclear enrichment like any other country does. So that being a very big sticky point even now. The 14-point memo includes both of these aspects that were also the triggers for why a ceasefire talks did not come through earlier, as we discussed. So these two really remain at the heart of the 14-point memo, Samya. Whether Iran and U.S. will be able to sort out their differences is something will have to be seen. Remember, J.D. Vance, Kushner, Witkoff had also, held talks with Iranian officials, but it really did not work out in terms of a breakthrough. This is possibly closest in terms of a possible breakthrough that we are seeing since the war.
Absolutely, Sneha. Thank you for getting us all those details. We shall leave it at that for the moment.